detected.
There's a place at the end of the
road. 2018 GSL Season 2 Overgrowth. 2018 GSL Season 2 Codes Overgrowth.
Rock and roll. Did you see that hand sign, Artosis?
Is that what that means? Rock
That's
and
what
roll?
It means, man.
It's a universal symbol.
That's right, man.
Sign language for rock and roll.
That's right. Welcome back to our second day of the Final Four here in the GSL Codes. We had a kick-ass series on Wednesday. This is, this is a one-on-one today, but in some ways, this is also a one-on-one to see which side of the Final Four is actually better.
Oh, yeah, because Zest TY was like really
that was
super duper
a
sick.
Great series.
Yeah, and I don't think today is going to look quite like that. That was insane what we saw. Zest was a crazy person.
Yeah, it's so weird that he actually has gotten this far. So Zest is already in the finals. Now he's won 2 GSL Codes's, and I feel like maybe even to a fault here, we've not really acknowledged that as much because he had fallen off so heavily in the last years. But if he comes back, he will have won 3 GSL Codes's, like Innovation, for instance.
Innovation, MVP, Nesty, and Zest. That will, think about that for a moment. There's plenty of players with 2, including Zest in there, but that's like a very exciting thing. And of course, today, Maru vs. Classic, both these guys GSL champions. This is such a sick match. Maru is the best player in the world right now. He's won the last couple big tournaments, including the last GSL. Here he is, almost to the finals again. How impressive is this kid?
Very impressive. The fact that he could actually win another GSL is insane. We're going to go show you guys a short video, then we're going to go straight to the interviews. No, we're not. We're going to go straight to the interviews, and then we're going to do a video. So I was just,
hello, this is Tasis. This is a
on point.
pre-recorded interview video.
Hi, Mario. Hi. Hi, Classic.
자,
Hi.
이제 4강입니다. 먼저 조성주 선수 2연속 GSL 우승을 노리는데요. 이제는
Mario.
국가대표죠.
You could be a back-to-back finalist.
지켜보고 있는데 컨디션 관리 잘 되고 있나요?
And you're also a Korean national athlete for esports because of the Asian Games. How is it to be preparing for 2 different leagues at the same time?
네, 국가대표가 잠을 못 잤다니.
I don't feel I have some great feelings. I feel a
자,
little bit
오늘
overworked.
정말 중요합니다. 2연속 우승이 가능하려면 사실 오늘 김도우를 넘어야
Obviously, this is a
하거든요.
very important moment for you. You might be able to make it to a second GSL finals.
김도우 선수 같아요. 이
How do you feel about your opponent Classic?
프로토스에서 어느 정도로 평가를 하시는지 궁금하네요.
그냥 지금 제일 잘하는
What's your evaluation of him as a Protoss player?
제가 열심히 준비했으니까
네.
재밌는 경기 나.
Honestly, I think he's currently the best Protoss out there.
네.
그렇군요.
So it's going to be very
자,
tough.
His
그렇다면
jacket
김도우
also fits
선수
very well.
얘기해 보겠습니다. 자,
Over here to you, Classic.
먼저 준비는 잘 하고 오신 것 같으세요?
네,
You didn't have much time to prepare for this. How was your prep? So I put a lot of time in.
좀 경기력만 괜찮으면 충분히 이길 수 있을 것
I think if I could just do what I had prepared
앞서
for, I
조성주
should be fine.
선수를
And I
격하게
should make it to the
원한다
finals.
이야기를 하셨습니다. 격하게 원하는 이유 들어볼 수 있을까요?
You had mentioned that you wanted to face off against Maru in the
잘하긴
semifinals
하지만
previously.
제가 또 최근에 많이 이겨봤고
First of all, he's a great Terran player.
달리고 있기 때문에
I think I might need a little bit of luck
저보단
today.
테란이 편할 것 같아서 격하게
But
원했습니다.
honestly, I've got a pretty good win rate against Terran.
최근에 이겼다는 게 굉장히 중요한
So
것
better to
같아요.
face a Terran than a Zerg.
여름을 기점으로 계속해서 연승입니다. 김도우 선수가 굉장히 자신감 가질 만한 포인트인데 이 조성주 선수에게 그렇다면 안 진다는 마인드도 가지고 계신가요?
지금 모르겠어요.
So you've got a
성주가 좀
13-game
다른
win streak against
테란들이랑
Terran.
확실히 다른 것
13
같아가지고
match. 13 match.
테란전이 자신이 있지만 성주는 좀 다를
Yeah,
것
that's
같고
right, but
그리고 제가 또 4강에서
I think it's a little
좀
bit different if I'm facing off against
경기력이 안
Maru.
좋더라고요. 그래서
That
그게
being said,
좀
I'm still very
중요할
confident
것
against
같아요.
Terran.
컨디션이 좀 좋으면
Anyways, when I look
이길
at their
수 있을 것
past
같은데.
games,
네.
네, 모르겠네요.
네. 자,
I
조성주
think my
선수
condition's
이
good.
상대 전적에서는 불리한 게 맞지만
So it's just going to
그래도
come down to me
지난
and how I
시즌
play.
1 그 결승전을 많은 분들이 여전히 기억하고 있습니다. 그런 멋진 모습 다들 기대하고 있는데 김도우 선수를 넘기 위한 연습은 어떻게 진행이 됐었나요?
A lot of people still are talking about your amazing performance in the finals.
팀원들끼리 위주로
Did you play a lot with your
했는데
teammates?
제가 어제 오기 전에 대엽이 형이랑 한 바퀴
Yeah, I
해가지고
play with my teammates a lot.
대엽이 형이 자신감을
Before
잘
I came
심어주셨어요.
down today,
아,
그래서
I had a
편하게
little
준비한 것 같아요.
pep talk with
김대호
Stats,
선수와
and
편하게
he
준비를
boosted my
하고
confidence a
오셨다.
lot. So I'm really grateful for
어떻게
that.
준비를 하셨는지
And that was very helpful.
궁금합니다. 자, 김도호 선수 어떤 특훈이 있었나요? 어떤 도움이 있었는지도 궁금하네요.
Classic, do you have anybody
저는 우선
specifically you
그
practice with?
스페셜 후한 선수랑 제일 많이 했고 또 신영이랑 또 좀 많이 했는데
Special
네,
and innovation.
신영이가 확실히 잘해가지고 좀 도움이
pretty
많이
legit.
된 것 같아서 준비는 잘 된 것 같습니다.
네. 자, 이번에 결승에
Innovation is,
올라간다면
he says, of course, is a
4년 만에
great
결승
player to
진출입니다.
practice with. He's a good player, so
간절하게
that was
생각하고
helpful.
계실 것 같아요. 그럼 마음을 담아서 조성주 선수에게 한마디.
So before we're starting the games,
선수랑
anything you want to say
항상
to
재밌는
Maru?
경기가 나와가지고 이렇게 오늘 붙어서 너무
Whenever I
재밌을 것 같고
face off against Maru, the games are always fun.
재밌게 붙고 승자는
So
제가
I'm excited for our
됐으면
match today.
네.
Let's have some fun, Maru.
국가대표에 또
But let me
이어서
win.
GSL 2연속 우승까지 거머쥔다면 그야말로 정말 탄탄대로인 것
So
같아요.
not only an
마지막으로
esports
조성주 선수
national
한마디
athlete,
들어볼게요.
도호
The
형이
weight of
저랑
a
재밌는
GSL
경기
Codas
나올
final, second time,
도형만
has
재밌는
got to weigh on
경기다.
you. Do you have anything you want to say to
오늘은
Classic?
그런 게임 안
Yes.
나오도록 하겠습니다.
네, 알겠습니다. 오늘은
let's have some
재밌는
fun
경기 안 나올
matches.
거다 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 자, 과연 어떤 선수가 결승전에 올라갈까요? 4강 2경기 시작하겠습니다.
That does it for the interview. And now the video. This is not a drill.
GSL Season 2, Codas, Overgrowth.
We're moments away from starting our match. Maru versus Classic. This is a best of 7. The winner goes on to face off against Zest. And I think Maru is a key component to this entire year here in the GSL. He could actually win 2 GSL Codeses in a row. It's hard to find any other momentum in esports other than doing that.
Let's look at some of these stats. WCS career rankings, it's number 1 versus number 2. Okay,
Wow.
obviously Maru's the best player in the world right now. He just knocked out Rogue, but Classic has won 13 Protoss vs Terran matches in a row. That's insanity.
Yeah, Classic is absolutely somebody who can win this entire season. I feel like Zest is, out of the 3 players remaining, even though we started with 32,
Yeah.
Zest has kind of been the dark horse.
Yes.
Throughout this tournament. It's a big surprise. I mean, whether it was him or Deer that got to the finals, it is definitely not the Protoss you would necessarily anticipate. You know,
Yeah.
Classic is really still in the limelight. He had an
Indeed.
incredible performance where we were casting in Poland at IEM.
He overcame his own demons here, having defeated Dark finally. Dark has been knocking him out of every tournament this year. Dark, like, the top players of the year so far are like Rogue, Dark, Maru, Classic, but we don't think of Classic as much because a Zerg player just kills him, generally Dark, but he smashed Dark on his way here. Here he is going against Maru. Last time he played Maru, he totally swept him. In fact, we saw in those stats there, in 2018, he's 8-1 against Maru. 8-1. That's insane stats. But Maru said he prefers to play against Classic here. I don't know why he would say that, but sometimes when these crazy horsemen Terrans say, remember Byun said that? He's like, oh no, I want to play against Stats. I'm like, he smashed you before, and then Byun just kills him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but you want to play him. Here you have it. This is your big chance. And this is a big stat, too. To have Maru hit 2 finals in a row.
Yeah.
Guess how many Terrans have ever done that before?
How many Artosis?
1. Who must it be?
Is it innovation?
No, it's not innovation. Please,
I
it's
actually don't know.
MVP.
I actually don't know.
He is-
You looked at me, I'm like, I'm just not sure. I wasn't ready
You
for that
fool!
stat.
You fool,
But I
Tasus.
thought, I will say, in my defense, innovation was probably the safest bet if you had no idea.
Oh, for sure, he was the
Yeah,
safest
yeah.
bet. But it was MVP. It's been 7 years since a Terrans made it to 2 GSL finals in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at this win rate from Classic against Terran. 83.3% on maps, but 100% on matches. He's been one of the best PvT players in the world for a very long time indeed. And like he's got so much range there. But this is something that we always talk about when someone has to play against SOS. Every time some big Terran match is up against SOS, or just in general, if you have to prepare for SOS, it's like, who did you practice against? And they always say Classic. He's the closest you can really get to SOS's skill
I feel
set.
like his style set is like a chameleon. He really can adjust to how certain players play and adapt to that.
And both of them are.
He's a face dancer, Artosis.
He's a face dancer, no doubt about that. And guess who's on Maru's team?
Does it start with an S?
It's MVP again. What are you, Tasus? You're such a fool.
Does it start with an S and end with an S?
I'm playing T-ball
There's
with
an
you,
O
Tasus.
somewhere
You
in the
don't
middle.
even know. The ball's just sitting there. You can't hit it. Oh my God.
So we're going to go to our first map. It's going to be Backwater. Again, this best of 7. This fight to get to the finals. Maru, the defending GSL Codes champion. Here against Classic. Classic has had an incredible year so far. Got to the finals, only to lose against Rogue in Poland and IEM Katowice. This guy is crazy. He is a Terran killer. This might be the biggest challenge yet here for Maru.
It is.
But Maru already beat Rogue, the player that we were hyping up for this entire tournament as probably the best player in the world, since Maru had only won the tournament that Rogue had not won up until now.
Yeah.
But then he knocked Rogue back out.
Yeah,
Rogue has been benched again until Season 3. We're still waiting for him to actually pull it off in the GSL. He's kind of got an SOS situation on his hands.
He
where
does.
He's not,
Oh, that's a good way to
he's
put it.
not able to really pull off a GSL Codes victory. He can win
Yeah.
everywhere else, World Championships at BlizzCon, IEMs,
Yeah.
but he's not able to do it here. And this is the most regular thing in StarCraft 2. At the end of the day, the most competitive thing in StarCraft 2, GSL.
Indeed.
Korean commentators must be talking a lot because we haven't started this game yet, Artosis.
Well, I mean,
there's a lot to unpack.
there's a lot
though.
of build-up, to be honest. This is such a crazy matchup, and it's so hard to say. Is this going to be like a close nail-biter like we saw in Zest versus TY? I think if it's a walkover, it goes to Classic, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way Maru's going to 4-0 Classic. That ain't happening.
But I think you're right. Classic could 4-0 or 4-1 Maru. But, you know, Maru has defied all odds. His aggressive style has really paid off. He's actually, I think, rotated his builds very correctly in best of 5s and best of 7s. Our game is ready. Let's see what happens with Maru versus Classic.
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru. Classic.
A little bit more cheers in the audience for Classic.
Huh.
I always feel like Maru is kind of like one of those default super fan favorites.
Yeah. He plays a very exciting brand of StarCraft, and he's been one of the best Terrans in the world just about forever, and generally considered top 2-ish since like Heart of the Swarm began.
Yeah, I think it's also, honestly, his age is a factor. And I think and why he's been such a fan favorite. If you guys have been watching GSL for a long time, he was a little guy when he came down here. He was super young.
It's just this little kid. There's like this awesome picture of him standing in line for like the very first GSL qualifier. It's just this little kid, and he's been around that long. He's like there was like this funny thing that happened, right? Like we had a lot of great Korean players, and then Kespa switched over, and he's one of the only guys. You know, there was a handful, but almost everyone fell behind immediately. Maru picked up from a Kespa team quickly, and like just remained as one of the top players. You know, it's
Well, we should really note here that
for some different sides there.
we should note here that he was one of those players that teams had scouted out, because when you find a guy that's that young and that good, you're just like, ooh,
Yeah,
money, 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 money.
indeed.
This guy's going to be a magic money tree and win all the tournaments because he's so good.
And his consistency as well has really shown
Yeah.
that. Like, remember, even back during Heart of the Swarm, it was really like Innovation and Maru were the two Terrans you could always count on, and here they still are.
Yeah.
Two of the top 4 Terrans at every moment, basically.
It's cool, too, because the Terrans, as of late, have shown that it can be, in a lot of ways, almost dynamic as Protoss play. You know, all the Protoss players, they do look pretty damn different
yeah.
from each other. There is a fingerprint in their builds and the way they control stuff.
Certainly.
And even the way they rotate builds in a best of 5 or best of 7. But the Terran players, especially last season and this season, have shown that there's actually a lot of ways to play Terran, between Gumiho, between Beyond, Innovation, Maru. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's actually really cool to see. And as StarCraft 2 ages, it gets better and better and better. And this is like a super true thing. A lot of people talk about Wings of Liberty. Those were the glory days. That was so fun. It was so fun to watch. Yeah, I dare you to go back and watch some of those games. They were all trash. Everyone was bad. Everyone was stupid. Everyone looked the same and terrible. Okay?
Yeah.
Now this is what you want to see with StarCraft 2. Everyone's getting their own fingerprints. Even the Zerg players
That's right.
are looking different. But I definitely hand it to you. Like, as far as Terran goes, like all these top Terrans, it's very easy to kind of tell them apart. They all have completely their own styles. And I'm excited about what we see from Maru here. Do you see how many Widow Mines he's making? He's up.
Yeah.
He's making number 5 and 6 right now.
He scattered them out on the map, but I don't believe there's any where this Oracle's flying over.
You see how careful he's being?
Yeah. You could see his screen was over that the whole time.
Yeah.
So this is 4 Widow Mines inside of a medevac. And
Maru historically has been one of the biggest Widow Mine droppers. In fact, let's just say the biggest Widow Mine dropper in the world. He has lots of games where he just drops 4 at a time over and over. Look at this. He's starting his 3rd medevac. He's making Widow Mines like 7 and 8 right now.
okay, here we go. Now, I don't think he can drop. Okay, he can. But I was going to say, I don't think he can get away with that because
Oh my
the Oracles
God.
would shoot them down. I was totally wrong. I was totally wrong. Look at that. 13 kills. Okay, so he has that timed out exactly. You have to be so
Dude.
fast to drop the Widow Mines like that. Get them to burrow with Stalkers and Oracles on top of them.
Classic thought the same thing you thought. He's like, he can't do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And
I
Classic's
thought
sitting there. He's
everything
like,
that I had understood in that situation was that you have to then try to find. I thought you had to drop where they weren't, not where they were. So
yeah, no, he just. That's what Classic thought too. He's like, well, with this many Oracles, certainly you can't
Yeah.
just drop. 2 Oracles just kill at whatever's coming out.
Yeah. He's like, it's fine, I have 4. I can let 1 die, and then I'll just
Yeah.
kill 13 probes.
Oh my God, the recall. He still just drops. He's like, 3 Oracles? No, this is fine. Look at this. Oh my God.
Okay, now that was less successful, but
But he forced a recall.
Yeah,
And like he
true.
still got 4 probes after getting 13 probes.
I think actually Maru has to keep dropping the Widow Mines
Yeah, no,
because
he'll just
eventually
not stop.
Protoss is going to try to counterattack.
Can't counterattack if there's always Widow Mine drops going on.
That's
Okay.
right. Socrates said that. Yeah.
Dude, this is why Caesar hanged Pluto, man.
Yeah.
Is because he preached about Widow Mines being dropped nonstop. You think the world revolves around Protoss? It doesn't. It revolves around Widow Mine drops.
So he's now.
Oh my
He's
God.
gonna let go of some stalkers there to eat those mine hits, but these Oracles are doing a lot of damage. Now the energy is
Yeah.
not unlimited, but still they have enough time. I think this last one can still snip off a few SCVs.
Now
Okay,
the Widow
so-
Mine's being moved.
This first game has been a slugfest.
This has been so dirty. Now look, he just killed 13 SCVs. Ah, more Widow Mine drops. They're chasing the probes. well, that one's not going to go as well. Or maybe it is.
Hold your tongue, Artosis. This is.
What a fool I
Yeah,
am.
how dare you?
Dude,
how dare you use normal stuff you've seen from other games and try to call it ahead of time? Did you see the laughing stock I was earlier at the first Widow Mine drop?
You fool. Look at this, 15 Widow Mines, 3 Medevacs going down. 13 SCVs dying on his side, but 21 probes or so were killed. This is just madness. Look at this, he shades in now. Going SCV hunting once again. But there's Widow Mines waiting for him.
So he's got these few adepts. Now the weird thing about the fact that we've only had, for the most part, Widow Mines made here on the Terran side means that there's actually not any kind of fighting defense. Like we see this one Marauder coming up, that's not going to be enough. And the Protoss can always just avoid the Widow Mines. And I think if from as much praise as we're showering Maru with, honestly, I think Classic's intuitive response to this is going to win him the game. I mean, this is really impressive. Maru destroyed the economy, but Classic eked out enough Stalkers, Adepts, and Oracles that the workers don't have any defense.
No, he's losing like everything at this point. There's almost no mana left, or the game would be over. I think it is over, though, as you said. Like, it seems like Maru did really great damage, but that one counterattack with the Oracles that killed 13 SCVs kind of like led to this moment. And Classic takes it. You can see Maru's kind of smiling under there. That game was crazy, though. Do you know what? That game, to me, felt like a weird Hearthstone Tavern brawl. Okay?
Yeah.
It was like, well, there's just Widow Mines everywhere. We don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
Damn, man. That was really impressive because Classic took a serious lashing, but he knew from A to Z how to approach that game. He says, okay, you just have Widow Mines. There's a reason why we don't just see Widow Mines made all the time. They don't fire like Marines and Marauders do. You can't stim them. You know, you can't really micro them in the same way. And ultimately, Classic, after holding off the first, the second, the third drop, said, okay, you can't style on me anymore,
But
brother. I'm coming back.
If Maru hadn't sent out the third drop, but had instead just kind of kept those Widow Mines at home defensively, I wonder if, you know, maybe those Oracles don't do that damage. He stabilizes a little bit quicker. He has better defense at home. Maybe he just went a little bit too far, but too far and not far enough. What divides that line, Tasteless?
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru. Classic.
So we don't normally do this. We might as well break the fourth wall and talk about how I just spilled water everywhere and then managed to knock my tea over.
Yeah, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
And watching you with your
I knocked with my broken hand trying to fix it, spilling water all over these wires and this monitor.
How do you fix a monitor? Well, you pour water on it, clearly.
Yeah.
This is what
That's
Tasteless
how
has taught
plants
me
grow.
today. I'm surprised nothing happened.
Yeah,
No
nothing
sparks
happened. We had
flew.
no short out there.
Not yet. We'll see, though. I know, so you didn't wipe anything up either.
I was like, it was like that scene in The Naked Gun with the apartment being on fire. Okay, so no equipment damage so far.
Do you remember the movie Airplane?
Yes, that's the funniest movie ever made.
Dude, I will never forget to this day the scene where it's like, oh, he has a drinking problem.
And he just splashes the water in his face.
Yeah, he just like puts the water in his mouth and then it comes out of his mouth and that's the drinking problem. And I'm like, oh, this is so funny. Even as a child, I thought that was super
Did you
funny.
know that they've actually done studies on comedies, and
Whoa, 20 years StarCraft.
and the most laughs per minute of any comedy is Airplane.
Is it?
It is actually on record.
I
as
have to
making,
rewatch it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in like 20 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I
it's been
watched
a
it like
long time.
maybe 2 years ago. It's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
It's well, this is maybe it's really funny because our sense of humor is so stupid, but
Yeah.
it's good. From Germany,
Yeah, hello.
quite an international crowd down here.
But yeah, that's exciting. I got to rewatch that. I'm sure a lot of viewers haven't probably even seen Airplane because they aren't as old.
Yeah,
as us,
Airplanes. Yeah,
It's
it's
legit,
like
though.
it's pretty damn good.
That's funny. The most laps per minute.
Yeah.
Did they test GSL in there though?
No, that was
Okay.
that was the most that was the most kappas per minute. Now,
Well, that was a crazy first game, I gotta say.
It was,
And,
yeah.
I mean, if this is what TVP is right now, is just every game is crazy. Like we saw TY and Zest, basically every game was insane, and now every game so far, you know, sample size 1, but every game so far today has been insane.
yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it bodes well for the rest of the day. I've been hoping, you know, after that TY Zest, I'm like, well, if we get a day that good again, that's the best round of 4 we've ever had. You know, no matter what way it goes, it's like that's pretty crazy.
That's why I was bringing up. It's like this is a one-on-one, but it's also which semifinals match is going to be better, right? And I mean, we already had a great one, but this one's sizing up to look pretty good. But you know, you were mentioning this earlier. I think there's a real risk that this is a 4-0. Classic is really on top of his game. He really does not die to Terrence. Now, Maro's gearing up for an attack up here, and actually, I think Classic may
Dude, he's
lose that, but he did not.
what is it? Is it 4 Cyclones? And is there a shield battery? I don't believe
Is he
that
going to
there
bring
is.
up 3 more
Oh, there's
SCVs?
one.
We've seen Gumiho do something like this. Now, he's kiting pretty well to make it so that the repair isn't as effective.
Yeah, he's eating through the shield battery energy to start, and now with some Hellions coming in, this is where it gets a little bit tough. How much energy do you have?
But you have to keep in mind the Oracles, they can't attack endlessly, so
Ooh, good.
eventually there's just nothing here to defend these workers.
Oh, it seems like there might just barely be enough energy to make this not that painful. Oh, 6 probes, it's not bad, it's not bad. Another 2 Hellions coming up. Okay, this is getting a little bit scary for sure.
So the Protoss ends up exhausting the majority of their energy, I think actually all of the energy on the Oracles, and then what happens is the Hellions come in later and they start to hit both of the workers.
Okay, let's see how many kills he can actually end up getting on probes. I think he's killed 7 so far. Maybe 8. So it's not done quite yet. A Liberator coming out, though. He still has a couple units out on the map. More Cyclones being made as well. I tell you, with the Liberator coming up and the Cyclones coming up as well, he's like going to really overtax everything. Already the Oracles are really low on energy. They're going for counter harass. The counter harass definitely can do damage, but the counter attack from Maru might actually be enough.
Yeah, you beat me to what I was going to say, Artos, is I feel like this game looks very different, but may have the same ending where Maro is throwing everything at his opponent, and then the counterattack just completely wipes out. Oh, wow, he's just going to go for it on these Cyclones. This is pretty bold. I don't know if that was the wise decision.
I was actually thinking almost reverse from here, where he had a nice number of Cyclones, and the Liberator drew all the Stalkers up in the main. I almost felt like, hey, can you do an attack right now with those Cyclones in the front because you drew everything up with this Liberator, but instead they kind of sat back on the defense. So I actually thought that Maru had a slightly different plan there, but I mean, the Oracles don't really do very much to him, and Classic taking the 3rd Nexus, but you know, his worker count is not really where he wants it to be. Having to spend a lot of money on kind of rebuilding those probes.
So the real counterattack is actually underway. We saw the counter harass, which pretty much was denied there by Maro, but does Maro actually have enough to deal with this? Because Classic is completely fine seesawing this game back to Maro's side of the map. I think a lot of other Protoss players, no disrespect there here, but maybe Stats would have played a more passive approach, but I think actually Classic can try to push all the way across here.
Well, that many Cyclones on top of a ramp going to be pretty hard to get up there.
I think I stand corrected, actually. I don't know if they can come in from that angle.
Well, looks like he is backing up for the time being, flying with his flying units into the main base, as only flying units can do.
You are such a poet, man. Okay, good harass there.
Oh, look at the flank on
wow.
the Cyclones. That's nice. Ooh, swift move right there.
Oh my god, how many hit points does that thing have?
That was the sickest scan.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserves to have that Oracle
Yeah.
dead right now. That
We
was
gotta
like
go tap
such a well
Classic
played.
shoulder, be like, just fly the Oracle back in
Yeah, I
there.
know.
You know his play was good enough.
Yeah, he deserves that kill. Come on. Okay, so Blinken +1 is coming up. Maru has done a good job of kind of keeping his economy together and all that, but where is the plan here? He doesn't have a third command, right? Or he does, never mind. It's floating in. So good upgrades. A lot of gateways being added here for Classic. These games have been so crazy in the beginning, but this one looks like it is going to normalize at least.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to go into a later part of the game now. I don't know who's really favored when we get into mid-game and late game with these two. You know? It's not like with Rogue where I think you can easily say the longer the game goes, the more comfortable Rogue is. I don't know who's actually better between these two. Now, this is a lot of Stalkers, which really creates a lot of fuzzy math as far as how fights go. It really depends on how good, as Blink finishes here, how good the Blink is going to be here from Classic.
Well, he's got his Blink just about to finish. He's got a few sentries in here and a photon cannon, so you know, he's definitely got a lot to work with. Some nice force fields come down, start to pick off a few units. Great tag there. You can start trying to pick off these mines, but that's a good amount of Marauders. Very scary to step forward with these Dragoons, or Stalkers.
Damn. Does anyone else think StarCraft 1 Arctos is... oh, nice snipe there. But did he overextend? He ate a lot of shots there. Again, the angle's still better here for Protoss, but those force fields are fading now.
This micro's really nice on top of that stasis ward. You know, even though it's been scanned several times, it's been hard for Maru to pick up. Finally gets it, but it's, oh man, the mines in the back really prevent Classic from overstepping here. Oh, actually,
I think there's only one mine that hasn't fired, right?
Yeah, and with an Immortal out, this is actually, I think, most Protosses would have died right there. That was really well controlled, very patient play from Classic.
Oh, damn, he's so good.
Yeah.
He just scans the observer and guns it down.
Jeez.
Okay, they're pretty much even in supply right now. But more importantly, in this phase of the game, the Protoss tech gains significance. Terran is still making the same stuff. We see that Ghosts are going to come into play, but that's going to be a little bit later. But I don't know if Maru can attack in again.
Yeah, and look, it looks like right now, obviously that Sengit Forge is coming up and he can Chrono Boost, but 2-2 is well on the way for Maru, so his upgrades are looking fantastic. Normally it's the other way around, and his Ghost Academy is coming. This shows, I'm getting chills, it shows a lot of preparation from Maru, because this is one of the ways Classic kills everybody, right? He starts with gateways, and he gets into Psystorm before you get into Ghosts. And that is like, he has this moment where he comes out with a prism full of High Templars, and he just Psystorms you and wrecks you. And like, he always nails this against every Terran, but this is an early Ghost Academy to counteract that. And so, look at that, the first Ghost on the way before we even have Psystorm coming.
Yeah, definitely earlier than normal. Okay, here comes the next push. Damn, Maru is so aggressive. But, you know, this is what got him to the Final Four here.
And he's about to have 2-2 against no splash damage. Damn, Maru's so good. And these guys, like, just watching this game shows such a level from these two players. It's, like, really, truly impressive stuff. It's not like they're both kind of, like, just hitting and backing off. It's like, okay, you have enough, you have enough. No, the micro, the control, look at this now. Coming in, his
kiting was good.
Yeah.
He's like taking no damage on his army pretty much, and Classic is getting a lot shaved off here. You can see he tries to do the trap force fields. When Classic engages, the Liberators come down here. Classic's army engulfing Maru's.
Yeah, those force fields actually working against Classic for a moment.
Yeah.
Blinking in. A nice EMP goes down. Maru going to have to back up. Those Immortals a little bit scary. He's trying to pick up everything he can on his way back.
Okay, so he's trying to kite here. He's trying to stay out of range of the Immortals. Damn, he's so aggressive.
Without a doubt, he is out-microing Classic so far. This is like, Classic's army is getting picked apart.
Yeah. Now, Classic's made a lot of Zealots. Don't think he can go any further, though. And this is a great expand behind this, by the way. I mean, there's no moment that Classic can really devote any attention down there. Another scan. Oh. Okay, he gets it.
Lots of scans going down, really trying to keep this area clean. Psystorm is about to finish, so that's a really, really important. But Ghosts are here. Oh, sick EMPs coming down on top of those Immortals as well.
But is Maru too short? Oh, that was great! Oh my God! I think he just won the game. I think he's actually going to push through.
Yeah.
I think that's actually it.
So sick.
Look at him. He just wins this tug of war.
Yeah.
Okay,
the Psystorm starts to come out
Psystorm's good.
finally, but I don't think it's enough anyways. There's just no units
Yeah,
up here for
I
Classic.
think things are thinning out. That there's not going to be enough storms. I believe if this continues onward, we see the last one goes down, and yeah, that is going to be it. Maru outgrows his opponent, and Classic is left now. He's going to lose this base up here at the top. We see some Zealots coming in. As long as Maru keeps controlling well, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Look at this. He says, okay, that base is a ghost town. Let's just actually push even further forward.
Yeah, he actually recalls probes from his natural.
GG.
But that was insane. Like, Maru's a whole nother level. From, like, TY looks so good. So good. But, like, when Maru gets going, if he hasn't taken a bunch of damage in the early game, like, between his control, his strategy, his tactics, his execution, that was amazing. He just, like, was on top of every aspect of that game, really showing why he's the best player in the world right now.
Classic has to be shaken from that last game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was tough. Maru, there were periods where it looked like he should not have been fighting at all. He was still taking out units, and eventually, you know, if you watch the supplies throughout that game, it's just Classic even, sometimes ahead, but then eventually it gets lower and lower, and
Yeah.
Maru's getting higher and higher, and he just outpowers his opponent. So it's 1-1 right now in this best of 7. We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll have game number 3 here in day 2 of the semifinals of the GSL, because you should be studying. No! You're studying Maru. All right? You're doing the right thing. We'll be right back.
You mean the world to me. I'm giving you everything. No matter where we go from here, I know we'll find a way. When I'm with you, I lose control. You make me feel invincible. I act a fool and risk it all, just for the chance of a lifetime with you. Broke all the rules and fell in love. They play it cool but fucked it up. Where can I go from here but jump? Nothing to lose and I fall into you. I confess, before we make a mess, you mean the world to me. I'm giving you everything, and I suggest we stop and take a breath. You mean the world to me. I'm giving you everything. You mean the world to me. I'm giving you everything. No matter where we go from here, I know we'll find a way. You mean the world to me. I'm giving you everything. No matter where we go from here, I know we'll find a way. Now all I do gets tangled up in thoughts of you and thoughts of us. I try to quit it, act like I'm not addicted, but the feeling that you give is the highest I've ever been. And now I know it's not a fluke or a phase. It's got me thinking about you all night and day. Feels like I'm burning when you look around and smile at me. Feels like I'm burning, burning. You are forbidden and it makes me want you even more. Feels like I'm burning, burning. I know it's just a thing in my head. It's haunting me till the very end. I wanna take you for a ride. You'll be Bonnie, I'll be Clyde. Two criminals on the run, but they won't hunt us down. Don't care about every law we break and the trouble that we'll make. There's nothing I wouldn't do as long as I can do you. I'll do anything to take a ride with you. I just wanna ride with you. Together we could be the normal in a misfit world. You match my crazy, crazy. I know you're dangerous. ever found someone is when you come around. I don't feel strange. Maybe there's still time for a change. I wanna take you for a ride. You'll be Bonnie, I'll be Clyde. Two criminals on the run, but they won't hunt us down. Don't come on every law we break, and the trouble that we'll make. There's nothing I wouldn't do as long as I can do you. I'll do anything to take a ride with you. I just wanna ride with you. I'll do anything to take a ride with you. I just wanna 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 ride with you.
아프리카 TV에는 당신이 아는 것보다 다양한 인종이 살고 있죠. 말 많은 인종, 발 빠른 인종, 잘 먹는 인종, 영리한 인종, 친절한 인종까지. 모든 게 컨텐츠가 되고 누구나 주인공이 되는 세상. 알고 보면 멋진 세상.
Are you free? Africa TV.
Esports.
2018 GSL 시즌 2 4강 2경기 함께하고 계십니다.
It's been good so far.
It's been a good day.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive.
These guys are like too good at the game. It actually scares me.
Yeah.
I watch them like, oh no, I can't do any of that.
Oh. Yeah, it's been an amazing series so far. So it's tied up 1-1. In game 1, we had crazy aggression from Maru, but Classic, managed to tip the scale in his favor and counterattack. And then in game 2, Maru just out controlling and winning every fight, percent by percent.
And the way these games are going, you want to see the finals June 23rd at 5 p.m. Tickets are being given out at noon. You can come in at 3:30, so you better get down here early to do that. Don't forget, of course, we will be giving things away at the finals. We generally do. Keep your tickets and stuff. We do raffles at the end with your tickets.
So do come early. We tend to fill up.
And we also have some T-shirts. You have to register ahead of time to buy them, so you can pre-order at that same website. They're 25,000 Korean won. And look at that. It says Overgrowth on it. It has the paint bomb explosion. You know, like if you're robbing money from a bank or watching GSL, this is what you get to see. And yeah, GSL T-shirts. So definitely check that out. And hey, we're going to sell some on site at the finals. Another reason to come down to the finals. Of course, quantities will be limited.
We completely fill up in the finals, so get here early. We're across the street from the fire station. We can't sneak more people in here, guys.
That's true.
I don't know who's going to win this, man. I just know the games are going to be good. Maru, probably a huge confidence boost after winning Game 2 in that fashion. Because that's one of the scariest things I've seen here in the GSL this season.
So good.
I know.
That was just his control, his execution during all of that. When he was picking off units on the way back. Classic had some mistakes there, though, right? I'll give him the damage that happened to his probes early on that already set him behind. Then he had great control at his third base holding that push. But some of those force fields, screwed up his Zealots. Then he blinked in front of his Zealots to take down the Liberator and stuff. And things went wrong there, and Amaru really punished him. So looking at these two games so far, these two seem to me to be evenly matched, not because they're 1-1, but just looking at what they both did right and they both did wrong in those games. These two are quite a match for each other so far.
Seems like there's no room for error for either of these guys. Game 3, lost and found. Let's go.
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru. Classic.
It's really, there's a lot of cool little things that are going into this match. Okay, well, guess what we have going on this game, Tasteless?
Looks like it's a proxy or
No,
Joseph.
Tasteless is MVP again! Oh my god! You fool!
This is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But I think this is a logical decision here.
Yeah, this
as far
is-
as build rotation from Classic, because he's saying, okay, oh my god, this is like
Proxy Gateway. We have never
welcome
seen
to
this.
the middle tier ladder game of the century.
Dude, this is like, I was going to say it looked like it was going to be a Proxy Gateway, but it's Proxy 2 gates. We've seen Proxy 1 gate, also known as the Wolf Gate, where
That's
you just
right.
make stalkers and rally them up and try to kill your opponent. We've seen SOS do builds like this, but Proxy 2 gates is not something that we've seen. So I'm unsure as
oh my
to
God.
what's going to happen
And
here.
Dude, the confirmation there to see that the CC is going down.
Man, this is quite a build that we're seeing. Now, is it going to be Adepts right off the bat, Stalkers right off the bat? He has saved up all his chrono in the whole world.
Yeah, I think it's all stalkers.
Yeah, I think you're right. Get that other Stalker
Get it,
going.
make it.
There you go. Okay, 2 Stalkers being chronoed.
Oh, he's gonna.
The
he's gonna go
Reaper's
right away?
going across the map.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's in some serious trouble. Defensive Adept at home. He's not even getting Warp Gate. It's too expensive, that upgrade.
So this is probably going to be our shortest game here today, because you can't, generally speaking, segue to a normal game as Protoss here unless you really hurt the Terran. So the moment that the second Stalker is there, Maru knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
That this is a 2-gate outside of his base.
This is going to be incredibly hard for him to do anything against. He cancels that command center knowing he can't get anything done. Look at this. The SCV's coming out like swarms of bees. Not able to really do it. Good micro from Classic. Notice how he's not overcommitting. This is such an important aspect that he's not letting the SCVs get a full surround. He's not going up the ramp. He's not going behind that depot. Even though it's down, like Maru wants him to come into his base so badly because then you can catch him against the wall. In this situation, though, not able to. Now, where do you go from here? He's done a ton of damage, obviously. 8 workers killed, but it's not like his economy is fantastic.
Yeah, you're totally correct. I mean, Maru did not let him up the ramp. He would have to have enough burst damage to tear down the bunker. Maybe try to slip by this depot. This is really cute using the shade like this.
Yeah.
Is he going to go repair that? What?
No. I think he knows that it's kind of pointless. The shade will come up again, and he'll start losing SCVs that are trying to repair it. That
Okay.
was just beautifully done. Oh, my God. Just
Okay,
so
he's
good.
actually breaking him here. Now he's able to kind of outrange the bunker if he goes just to the right.
Yeah, this is interesting the way that this is being done.
The thing is,
he keeps that depot up. I thought he might lower the depot and try to like flank those stalkers, keep them in there or something, but it seems like that little nook is just big enough for him to dodge bunker shots.
Okay, he's going to have to commit inside the main now. He can't go back out without eating too much damage from the bunker.
Those are so red. Those stalkers, they are just going to fall for sure.
Okay, the Reaper's still in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
We just caught the tail end of that. I think that this rush has just now failed.
Wow. This was such a crazy build.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my God.
beautifully done there with the Widow Mine.
Yeah, he's still doing some damage with these stalkers, but Stalker's damage output isn't that high. Like, he's going to lose these. Okay, where are we at? 14 workers for Classic, 17 for Maru, and Maru has, like, infinity more tech.
Yeah, Maru has at least developed a tech tree.
We don't even have Warp Gate started, okay?
There's
There's
no
no
Protoss
upgrades.
is in the Stone Age.
The Protoss is a StarCraft 1 Protoss right now.
Yeah.
Oh, get
Oh
out
my
of here.
God.
Get
all
out
right.
of here.
No Nexus. Back up the ramp for you.
And another probe gone. Oh, God. This is like, this is pretty serious. Classic doesn't have anything going on.
He actually might just fizzle out.
I've never seen
he might
this.
just tap out. There's there's not exactly a plan B when you do this build and you don't kill the Terran.
Yeah. And the fact that Maru has all this tech to work with, and he has mules, and you have like less probes, and you don't even have warp gate. Okay, he's making like a Twilight and warp gate now, but Cloak is halfway done. Like when the Banshee gets there, I think we just see a GG.
Yeah, I don't blame Classic for trying, because I
as well.
think, you know, there's obviously so much on the line here, but how on earth do you know, come up with a win from here? I think it's basically impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible. Like the Cloak Banshee's just too much. I think he really expected to be able to do more damage, but Maru kind of kept his cool. Yeah, look at that. You gonna break that? No.
Yeah, there's just not much you can do. I mean, there's a reason why we don't generally see this here in the GSL. Now, I think it's pretty intelligent by Classic to throw out a build like this, because this is probably just something Maru wasn't factoring in. But as you can see, you have basically gone all in once the 2 gates were up outside the Protoss's, or the Terran's base, excuse me.
Well, we're about to see GG here. Cloak comes down, and there you have it. GG.
Yep.
Classic calls, and Maru wins game number 3, going up 2-1.
Impressive, because you can see Maru was so strong in game 2 that it, in some weird way, forced Classic to do an unorthodox approach. He said, "Okay, let me try to pull the rug out from under you. Let me try to be a sneaky snake.
Yeah.
And take this game off of you, and I'll come up with something else in game 4." And Maru shuts it down. Now, what does Classic do? Does he want to go into a normal game? I don't feel like it.
Okay.
I feel like Maru's dictated this entire series, and Classic is the one that has to come up with the answers.
I think I'm pretty certain that game, that build on that map was pre-planned. I don't think that was a reaction, but I could see him reacting here and possibly changing. But I think just going back into like Stargate openings and just kind of playing his normal play, that's generally where Classic is really strong. Like this guy, I've talked about it for years. He's like the guy that doesn't lose oracles to Widow Mines, right? Like he will use them defensively, no problem. He gets like some intel, and then if there's any way to lean on his opponent, he'll do it. Yeah, Stargate. Let's do it.
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru. Classic.
You can see Classic actually scouting for a proxy outside of his base, just at the bottom center.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'll happen where one player proxies, and the other player is so caught up with the previous game that the other player will just proxy him and do the reverse to him.
And people named Maru practice a lot. I mean, not practice a lot, proxy a lot.
Proxy a lot.
Yeah.
It's easy to get them confused.
Yeah. Well, they practice their proxy a lot. But it looks like Classic is going to do some pressure here, try to get a cancel on the command center. Normally when you build that gateway on the low ground, it goes Nexus. So this might just be a wall as well, aware of some of these Hellion builds that have been popping up.
Yeah.
I use them a lot.
I think
Maru's
that's
already
exactly
shown
what
them.
it is, yeah.
But occasionally on some of these maps you see, the gateway on low ground, and then you kind of go for the quick Stalker, kill the SCV, you kind of just put pressure onto it, the command center, and force a cancel.
Sweden and Australia, well, we knocked off a lot of our international markers here.
Yeah, that's all over the place. But, okay, he's making the wall. Looks like a proxy Stargate is probably the name of the game here. I think the wall was a good choice as well, because Maru did go gas first here, so he's definitely planning on, obviously getting that very quick tech up, doing something with it. The Reaper is scouting at the moment. Will be able to find where this proxy is.
Oh, he might actually. Let's see if the Reaper loops around. No, headed southbound.
See where that ends up. Stalker about to pop out though. Oh yeah, and there's no jump up play, so the wall is even smarter here. You can kind of just not let the Reaper in.
Yeah, well, the Reaper just doesn't have any utility after that, besides trying to poke out and
Find
control.
proxies,
But it's
possibly.
not going to be able to scout what's happening. And this is, I think, really, really smart because, first of all, Maru right now, he has no clue what's going on inside the Classic space. But the real twist is that the story is actually going on the middle of the map. It's a Stargate being hidden out there.
Yeah.
And so Maru trying to play this game and see if he can get a read on what units are being shown here. Classic's very smartly handled this. He's looking out and saying, okay, well, what's really going on inside the base? But this may cause Maru to factor out the proxied Stargate. You know, when you see someone wall in and say, okay, what are you hiding? Nothing, man.
Huh, okay. Yeah, I wonder, because he doesn't have any sort of scout, and you're seeing 2-3 Stalkers already. A lot of times that might be a Twilight opener. You know, Twilight openers, they aren't the most common thing, but you definitely see them. You definitely see people open up with Blink. A little bit of pressure going on with these Stalkers right now. Of course, one Cyclone is out, so he's fine against this, but if the Cyclone is down defending against these Stalkers, he knows he can fly into the main base. That's a big
that was
pickoff.
really good.
Good micro.
Okay, Classic can actually do a lot of damage from here. And with someone like Classic's control, you have to consider that. Now, he's going to try to target that. Okay, we're not going to know what happens with the mine. He just runs by.
Oh, my God.
Now, he's trying to bait the mine on Bro here, but he's going to get a lot of SCVs in this process.
Yeah, look at this Oracle in the
my
main
God.
base right now. Looks like another Cyclone pops out.
He's going to run in the main.
Where else does he gotta go?
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, body block with the Marine. Unintentional.
Okay, parks the Oracle down here. He can combo that up to get a lot of worker kills.
Yeah.
And he's not slowing down, by the way. He's getting a third Oracle.
Keeping quite a bit of pressure on here.
Yeah, well, I think that it's smart. Classic needs to take the initiative. That was what he was trying to do in game 3.
Yeah.
And that initiative should have ended with a quick win, but it did not. But this time he's taking I think a safer, more complex approach. Instead of just trying to bludgeon him with a proxy, 2-gate Stalker. Look, he's baited him out, and now he can kill all of these Marines.
That's a huge
That was
move.
so well done.
That's a huge move. Jeez, he's reducing the unit count so significantly here, and that's a big deal, guys, because he's taking his third Nexus. He's going for the Twilight in the Forge right now. He's lost all of his Gateway units, but the fact that he's killed all the Marines and some SCVs, and he's keeping pressure on the 3 Oracles, this is all looking very good right now for Classic, I would say.
He's so close to that mine. Oh my God, he messed up his control. So that other Oracle loses its shields.
That was a good split, though, because he would have lost 2 Oracles to that, because
Yeah.
one was so low. Oh,
Nicely done.
So sick.
Problem is, it seems like Classic doesn't quite have that much. You know, when you see Stim like this, it's very hard to run away. I mean, Blink's far from being finished.
It really is. He's only got 3 gateways. 3 more are on the way, but his Oracles are bruised. They don't have a ton of energy. Stim with the medevac, there is at least 1 medevac out right now. A little bit of counter pressure could do a lot.
So I feel as though there's not going to be any more attacking here from Classic. He might try to fly in with the Oracle and get a few kills there, but at this point in time, overall, Maru's gotten too strong. And so Maru's going to go in here and do a Widowmine drop. Now, there's a turret here in the main, so this shouldn't be too impactful. I guess he could try to sit in between the 2 mains and kill off whatever he can. And this is going to force out some honesty here from Maru. He's going to have to keep some units back here.
I like that. Force out some honesty.
It's like, do you have anything back here to defend, or are you attacking me? You know?
Yeah. Well, not that much comes up to the main base, so maybe he should be aware of this, but we'll see. Warps in a few Stalkers in response to seeing this, but 3 mines being dropped. Oh my God, that's Maru for you. Gets one of the, or no, 2 of the Stalkers right off the
These
bat.
Marines are a little bit more of a threat. Now,
Oh my God.
God, he's so good.
So that was kind of weird because there were 3 mines that shot. It seems like he was afraid there was another mine there. He definitely could have gotten in and stopped those mines from all getting out.
I don't think he had his screen over when the drop happened, right? And it can be pretty confusing with how many mines are burrowed if it's more than 1, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right about this. There was just so much action going on. He just kind of misread that, but he could have punished a little bit harder. Ooh, nice blink. We'll catch this medevac.
And, you know, this is one way that Morrow can lose this if he hemorrhages too much in these drops, which he already has.
Yeah, with another warp in and these probes coming up, he should be able to clean this out without too much trouble. And, well, Morrow will get whatever value he can out of the drop still, but that's a bunch of medevacs falling right in a row right there, only getting 3 probes. So Classic really has stabilized at this point.
Now Morrow is going to begin that pressure. Something we have to note, Artos, is we haven't talked about this for 7 years.
Oh?
Viewers, if you're watching this stream, you probably don't know what the Korean word is for Marauder in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
It's Fire Bear.
That's right.
This is a moment with the Marauder being as strong as it is and Morrow being as good as he is. These aren't Marauders, Artosis. These are Fire Bears.
Yeah. Well, I like to call them Marauders.
Marauders, yeah.
I mean, he is the best with Marauders out there, really.
Fire Bears Maraudering.
This is his key unit. Look at this, 4 Marauders being made and
Steady,
one.
man. You think you're better than me because you just made a bunch of Fire Bears?
You know, Fire Bears. If only Water Bears were in this game.
Yeah, you need some Water Bears.
Because Water Bears truly.
You know,
can
I
go
think
to space
Fire Bears
tasteless.
is a better name for them when you really look at them. They do kind of look like bears on their hind legs.
And they fire.
That's right.
Custom
Do they ever,
shells
Artosis?
oftentimes. Yeah. This is, like, I love the speed of the Ghost Academy once again, but it looks like Psystorm is kind of on par with that this game. So Classic is going to have that scary moment.
Here's the thing, though. In the last game we had, Storm got there, and it seemed to be a moot point, right? I mean, Morrow was able to just continuously out-control and eke out damage, fight after fight after fight, and eventually push through.
Even these guys are right now. This is like so impressive watching these two go head to head. So much damage done all over the place all game long. Their tech is like shooting up so quickly despite all the damage that they're dealing and taking on both sides. And now with Psystorm done, Classic should have some splash damage. 3 ghosts are coming out. They aren't out right now, but this is the type of situation where you run from that as Morrow. You get out of there. That army is so scary. Even though they're similar supplies, Classic will destroy you with Psystorm here.
Ouch. Loses one of those oracles.
I think that was his last one, but I'm not.
I believe you're correct. I believe that should be his last oracle. And he needs that to tag the army to get a read here.
Yeah, if he sees where the army is, he can truly destroy it.
Okay, I think Classic might try to go for a bust here.
Look at that setup, though. Oh my God, the Widow Mines plus Liberators. That is hard to attack into. Oh, the EMP goes down on those 3 High Templars. Beautifully
is
done.
It Templars in the War Prism? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Okay.
It's Classic, so yes, always. Except when he drops a Zealot out to get an EMP out of you. Okay, I mean, he's hitting some EMPs, but this setup from Morrow is just magnificent. Woo! Oh my God, that battle micro coming out of Classic, even picking up that Archon.
I think we're starting to see it, man. You can't escape those Fire Bears.
No. They slow you down. They're
That's
like
right,
all the
man.
monsters in my dreams. I just can't run fast.
Just running and running and running, then eventually you wake up. Fortunately, this is like Inception Artosis. When you die in the dream, say it with me, you die in real life.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. But the line is worth poking fun at.
Yes.
Okay, Morrow's going to try pushing through here. Every time he gets over there, he sets up, and he's so strong.
Is Morrow too good at this game now?
Yeah.
Did Morrow figure it all out? This is like so crazy.
We're going to have to nerf the Marauder guys. We're going to have to give them webbed feet or something, man, so they can't go as fast.
Yeah. Morrow is just looking ludicrously strong. Look at this play, man.
Yeah.
Like, he is just... like, there was this one moment where he didn't have the Ghost out against the Psystorms. He backed up. Ooh, good Psystorms. And Classic's been controlling really well, but these areas that Morrow is setting up are so powerful that Classic can't quite break them. Now, this push, though, I'm not 100% sure. I think that Classic can get through here.
Okay, he took out the Cybernetics core, so he can't warp in more Stalkers. Granted, Protoss will rely a little bit more on Zealots here, but he's actually got a pretty complex position here. He's taking out the bottom left. He's separated the second base from the third base with the army for Protoss at the third base.
The fourth is really under fire. Looks like Classic's going to lose that. Oh, my God. Oh! Well, he gets 2 of them. Kind of good, but blinks forward here, loses a ton of Stalkers to take everything down.
Oh, my God. Very Morrow-esque. Picks up immediately. I thought he was going to go to the main for a second, but I think he's trying to play a cautious game. He says, all right, I took out your base. Maru on 4 bases to Classic's 3. Maru also about to be maxed out, where Classic is just at 155 supply. Classic almost awkwardly expanding here to the middle now, which is an easy push position, but I feel that Classic probably thought this might be his safest bet, and I think Maru's about to pounce on this location now.
Oh my God, like this is insane what we're seeing out of Maru. Look at this concave at the top of the ramp, dodges that one disruptor shot. These disruptors, I don't know if they're gonna do enough here for Classic. A decent hit there, but can his army hold on against what's left?
He's trying to buy time with these disruptors, but it seems like Maru is just a tsunami that is gonna tear through no matter what. And now the Templars are being taken out. And look at the arc here from Maru. I think we may be at the beginning of the end.
Yeah, this is an insane display of skill out of Maru here. Classic has played a very strong, very good game, but Maru just showing that he is the greatest player on earth. Oh my God, GG.
Fire Bears.
Fire Bears.
Fire Bears.
I got something to say about this. First off, and I'm not trying to build up to a really great finals, but if you look at the styles these two are using, and the styles that we saw at Zest and TY, I feel like Zest would do better against Maru and Classic would do better against TY at this exact moment. You know what you need to do against Maru?
I'm going to call you out.
Hold on, listen to this. What you need to do against Maru, you need Robotech. Like, the way that Classic plays this game, because he's so good, is gateway-based into Psystorm. He's so sharp, and his control is really on point, and like his timings are all so crisp that he can do this against everyone. But what Maru is doing here, you can technically outplay gateway-style Protoss and Psystorm. Robo is more about math, though, and I mean, I think we're going to have to go to a commercial break, but we need to see some Robotech coming out of Classic here if he's going to take down Maru. You can't keep going with this style.
We are going to go to a short break here from Hong Kong. Let's keep these countries coming, guys. Anybody from Micronesia here? How many more countries can we get off on our bucket list here for today's GSL? Anybody from Panama?
Anyone from Europe?
Europe. All right, we are now going to go to that short break, but don't go away. Well, you can go away for a second. You go to the bathroom, only a number 1, not a number 2. You can get a drink from the fridge. You can't cook a meal. There's not enough time. And when we come back, our next game here in day 2 of the semifinals.
I think I'm going crazy. You never seem to hear the sound when the sky is crashing down. But don't you save me. Even though we know this bed is cold when I'm alone, girl, I don't wanna feel too dependent. Killing me, but I'm your co-defendant. Should've stopped you when I felt embarrassed, but the pain is pleasure, so I learn to manage. And I try to get a grip, just to watch it slip. Shooting holes in my little boat when you know that I don't swim. La la la.
And the ice is getting thin. You always pull me under. I don't wanna let you in, 'cause you took the best part of me. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Hey, yeah, it's good, but things could always be better. The feelings change just like the weather.
This is the longest day I've ever had. I'm far away, but I am right there. If distance only makes you stronger, don't make it last any longer. My mind is racing and it won't stop, and every thought is something negative. I hope this doesn't last forever. We're always meant to be together. I won't lie, this hurts more than you'll ever know. That's when something told me that if I pinch myself so that I win, it never really happened. 'Cause I can feel my tears finding their way. It's worse than I imagined. Now my blood turns red to blue. Now my blood turns red to blue. And I can't breathe without you. And I can't breathe without you. Now my blood turns red to blue. My blood turns red to blue. And I can't breathe without you. No, I can't breathe. No, I can't breathe. If I pinch myself so that I win, then it never really happened. 'Cause I can feel my tears finding their way. Our fear is worse than I imagined, but I'll hold this memory, and I swear I won't forget your face. 'Cause pictures always seem to fade away. Fade away. 'Cause pictures always seem to fade away. Now my blood turns red to blue.
아프리카 TV에는 당신이 아는 것보다 다양한 인종이 살고 있죠. 말 많은 인종, 발 빠른 인종, 잘 먹는 인종, 영리한 인종, 친절한 인종까지. 모든 게 컨텐츠가 되고 누구나 주인공이 되는 세상. 알고 보면 멋진 세상.
Are you free? Africa TV.
GSL Season 2, Codas, Overgrowth.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, some of you might be asking, is Maru going to win the next game and just go on to the finals? And some of you might be responding, well, does a fire bear poop in the woods? But there's a chance for Classic to come back with this. But it's got to be perfect. It seems like Maru, the more he has, exponentially he's better. It has more of an advantage. I mean, Classic, there's a lot of thought going into what he's trying to do, but Maru, it seems like if he could just stop that plan, when it comes to a standard game of StarCraft, which is just expanding and teching, Maru wins.
Yeah, styles really come into this a lot as well. If you are playing with this type of style that Classic is using, right? His general style, you open the oracles, that's pretty normal. You get into a third base, blink, you get into charge and storm quickly. It's a strong style, it's a fluid style. Classic's very good at it. What Maru is doing here, he is setting up a lot with Widow Mines. He is getting into quick ghosts. He is continuing his upgrades. That is a good counter to Classic. I've not seen anyone who can do it against Classic, but Maru can. I feel like Classic needs to get into Colossus tech here, Tasteless.
Fight!
This is so dirty. Look at this.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It had to happen. It had to happen.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense to just go straight into a proxy.
Yeah.
Because Maru has the room to take the risk. And I wonder if Classic is even thinking of this as a factor. He's probably thinking of how he's going to take down this Colossus Terran with some kind of technical attack or an all-in. And the truth is that whatever Classic had planned this game really doesn't matter because Maru is already going for this proxy.
Now, does he proxy the factory as well
yes.
or not? That's the big question. And which build is this? Obviously, we saw TY with an insane new proxy of Concussive Shell Marauders along with Cyclones.
He's going for the Fire Bear attack, Artosis. We're going to have Marauders for sure.
Think so? I think it's going to be a Reaper to open based on the location. But we'll see what he does after that.
Now, Classic did have a quick scout, and so he's privy that this is not a normal game. He's privy to that.
He's getting out his building placement is very, very good against this. Where's the factory? Okay, the factory's in the back of the main base, right? So right now he thinks it's a proxied factory because his probe didn't see it made
That's
it
so
a
smart.
wall in. So
that's so smart.
Yeah, it's a very clever thing for Maru to do right now. So a second Reaper coming out, which is completely fine. All right, let's see if this is a Beyond level Reaper. See, Beyond gets like 4 probes here.
Yeah.
And of course, as always, Beyond has the best Reapers.
Yes.
Sorry, Maru. You're better than Beyond at basically everything else right now.
Okay, the factory nearing completion. There's a Stargate on the way. Classic is postured very defensively.
Yeah.
Because he knows this is a weird game. And in some ways this actually could be a game that Classic can take because Maru didn't take a standard route.
Yeah, and the Stargate is by the way, this kind of, like, see the shield battery here? That gets made because he thinks there's a factory out on the map.
Right. He thinks there's going to be a push up the ramp.
Yeah, so just by virtue of making the factory further back in his main base and tricking his opponent here, like, look at that, he even makes the command center in the main base, right? So if there was something out in the map still scouting, he won't even be able to see that there's a command center in the way. So Maru is playing defensively. This is actually a defensive play that he's doing. Reactor Cyclones in his main while making a command center, but he has tricked Classic so hard.
Yes.
That Classic is just behind. That's it.
Classic's now sending the Oracle over here to the northeast. Wants to see if he can get some damage. No doubt Classic's screen is over this Oracle the whole time, because if Classic were to have this Oracle just fly into a Widow Mine, that would just be...
Well,
that
you
would
at
be
least
rough.
would have an idea where the factory was at that point, right?
Yeah, something.
Okay, he's going to get here and be like, oh, no.
Yeah. Now, Classic's already on an uneven footing here because he says, the factory's in the main now. What are these Cyclones doing here? Okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to try to go from there. Now, I don't think Classic is in any losing position, but he's not in an advantage at all.
He is behind. Like, Maru has tricked him 12 ways from Sunday, but it's not like he has a bad set of units, right? He's making some Oracles. He's clearing the Reapers finally. He's going to have to play a little bit defensively here because he does know there's Cyclones out. So, oh man, he's actually going right in with his Oracles. So this is where okay, the Cyclones actually did turn around. I was like, this is where it could get dirty, but I guess not too bad. But yeah, there was a lot of mind games here from Maru. This is a really cool opening. The thing is, you can trick a player. You're already proxing. There's the double gas. Protoss has to play careful. If they don't, then sometimes you just die. Like we saw Zest, right? He was like, nah, man, it's fine. He made the Nexus. Guess what? He lost that one.
Ooh, man. Okay, will he get the
Look at
this next one?
He does this a lot.
Oh my God, he's so good with that split. That's the second time we've had that in this series.
Yeah, and this time he actually gets it, so that's nice.
By the way, Classic is just continuing to make Oracles. Oh my God. Okay.
This attack.
Maru says he sees an opening.
There's 6 or 7 Cyclones and now 2 Widow Mines.
So, with the 2 units that do remarkable amounts of damage in large groups, Cyclones and Oracles are about to have a fight.
Yeah. 6 Cyclones.
In caster school, they say, don't try to call this one ahead of time. This is,
well, I'm with the
ground army.
Yeah, the ground army definitely is a big part of this, but
and the Widow Mine splash damage.
Yeah.
But the SCV repair too.
He's only making 1 shield battery. I feel like if you made a second shield battery, no one would make fun of you, but this is Classic. He's very exact. Okay, he's just going to go ahead with his double gas here. Oh, man. Crazy openings. I love this game. These round of 4 games on both sides have been insane. Even if Maru cleans him up 4-1, which is pretty much something I would not ever expect, but it does look like it could be the case. I mean, it's been a 6 series anyways.
Very important to note the Classic's taking the gold base. Now, if he Yeah, I was going to say, if you have this many oracles, there's a lot of kills you can get that would be unexpected. Now, had he killed that the tech lab with the stim being made, that would have knocked Morrow out of doing anything with infantry for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's very important that he managed to save that.
Yeah. With the gold base being taken, I'm interested to see what upgrade he gets. I imagine it'll still just be blank. But, you know, with the gold base minerals coming in, you can make arguments for other upgrades, right? It's like your opponent has, well, just having that many minerals come in feels like sometimes, especially you've seen people like, yeah, he does get blank, but people like SOS, right? He'll take a gold base.
Oh my God! Oh no, Classic!
That's another one, nice.
2 down. It's funny because he had tagged those earlier.
Yeah.
But the tag had worn off.
Yeah.
And so, you know, not to be too critical, but had he actually snagged that again, we would have a different situation. I mean, there was a lot of gas that was invested in those oracles. So, you know, he's not getting the value out of them that he possibly could have. But, you know, with the gold base up here, Morrow taking, I think, more of an orthodox route here, just expanded to the center right.
Well, Morrow's attack is going to be pretty scary, for sure. The
But
oracles are here, so, and with force fields and stuff in these little tight areas, Classic has a chance to hold on here for sure. But that is a big army from Morrow.
Well, he's going to try to come in here now.
He's got a pre-scan.
Yeah, he has to know there's something behind that bush.
Yeah, like the amount of oracles he's seen and just the fact that the defense is
check
at
out the SCV
bush.
pull. Look at that.
Oh boy, he's got. Oh man, but that stasis ward is a killer.
Oh wow, great play there.
Yeah.
Is there still too much though? I mean, it's mostly just stalkers against the stem here from Terran and the Cyclones as well.
If you can't stop this army with that good of a stasis ward, man. Oh my
well,
God.
I think he's actually kind of doing it, man.
Yeah, it seems
the
that
Immortal's going to come down here, but there might not be enough of anything else.
Oh no, the Immortal on a move.
Oh my God,
oh,
bad
the rally.
Yeah, he's coming through. And now the army is pushed up against the very corner of this gold base.
Oh my God, this is a ton of damage right now. Classic. He is in so much trouble. His economy was good, but
man, this has got to be frustrating for Classic. It seemed like everything went well. He set the trap off perfectly.
That was a 6 stasis ward.
And Morrow's still tearing through here, and I think we are now
He's
at the
dead.
point of no return. GG! Morrow's going to the finals against Zest.
This is insane. Maru taking out Classic 4-1. This guy is, I mean, Jin Air Green Wings is so dominant at this point. I don't even know what to say. This is like crazy right now. I think that we need to region lock Jin Air Green Wings away from the rest of the Koreans.
Right. Yeah.
They have won like everything and been in the finals and won like every tournament for so long now. Maru going back to the finals 2 in a row, first time since MVP from a Terran player. Classic getting almost swept there 4-1.
Yeah. Well, by that final match, it's like,
God.
It didn't even look like this should have been a semifinals match, you know? You could see Morrow was just so strong.
He was on a 13-match win streak. He was 8-1 against Maru this year. He really has been bashed Maru. He killed him in Super Tournament like pretty heavily. But Maru is just continuing to improve. His play was out of control. But do you know what, Tasteless? Maru is not unbeatable.
네, 우승자
That's right,
클래스를
not. I
이번
promise you.
결승에도 올라가게
This
된
finals is gonna be
진에어
so
그린윙스
off the
조성주
wall.
선수
Gary
바로
says
만나보겠습니다.
Morrow's made it to the
축하드립니다.
finals again for the second time. Congratulations, he says. Thank
아,
you.
정말 축하드립니다. 2연속 결승 진출 소감 어떠신가요?
2 back-to-back.
오기
GSL finals. How do you feel?
제가 생각도 못 하고 와가지고 이렇게
네.
이길 줄도 몰랐고 이렇게 잘
When I came to
풀릴
the
줄도
studio, I was
몰랐는데
trying to think not so much
너무
about the
좋은 것
games.
같아요.
네, 아 이런 게 진짜
Anyways, I'm really happy now.
클래스인가요? 징크스도 깨고 2연속 결승. 정말 그동안 우승자들이 많은
You don't
수모를
even seem to suffer from the GSL
당했거든요.
champion
이번
curse.
시즌 정말
When we
험난했던
look
것
back in the
같은데
past.
어떠셨어요?
일단 8강까지는 좀 쉽게 간 것 같은데 그 이후로는 좀 어려운
Excuse me.
대진이어가지고
How do you think about
생각이
today's
좀
games?
많았는데 이렇게 올라가게 돼서
Until the
너무 좋은 것 같아요.
quarterfinals,
네, 아니 무엇보다
it was easy, but this match was super difficult for me. Anyways, I'm happy to be in the finals.
올해 오프라인 테란전 14연승을 달리고 있었고 또 무엇보다 조성주 선수에게
Classic's got
강했거든요.
a 13-game
최근
win
약
streak against
2년간
Terran.
2000년
you managed to
전국에서
stop
다
it.
전패였어요. 그런
Many people thought he would be
김도호
especially strong
선수를
against you.
이겨냈다는 게 남다른 의미가 있을 것
Now
같은데요.
you've managed to reset his record.
일단
He'd won so many games
도호
against you
형이
before. What does this
올라왔을
victory
때
mean for you?
망했구나라는 생각이 들었는데
네.
준비하는
Yeah, when I looked at the semifinal bracket, I thought, all right,
괜찮은 것 같더라고요. 그래서
I might be really
열심히
screwed here.
준비했더니 이긴 것 같아요.
네. 사실 오늘
when I was
경기적인
practicing,
측면에서도 1세트부터 꼬이는 바람에
I
사실
think in each
출발부터
game I gained
좋지가
confidence.
않았어요. 그런데 더 눈에 띄는 건 1세트 패배 이후에 2세트부터 스타일을 바로 바꾸는 모습이었거든요.
After you lost the first map, it seemed like you adjusted your play style drastically.
어떤 생각들
Going into
하셨는지
game two.
궁금하네요.
What was it going through your mind exactly?
제가 우간 맞춤으로 준비한 건데
네.
우간한테 져가지고 멘탈이 좀 나갔었는데
네.
그래도 2세트가 좀 잘 풀려가지고 괜찮았던 것 같아요. 전체적으로.
I prepped against Stargate builds,
운영으로
but
승리를 하시고 저는 무엇보다
I wasn't able to
오늘
quite defend it
경기를 통해서
in game one.
3세트에서 보여주셨던 말도 안 되는
So throughout today's
수비는요,
series,
정말 여기 있는 모든 분들이 깜짝 놀랐습니다.
that third
아니
set
어떻게
was
전진
insane.
유관문에서 나오는 추적자들을 어떻게 컨트롤로 그걸 잡죠? 어떻게 수비를 하셨는지
especially with the two-game proxy.
저도 아무 생각 없이 막아가지고
It was unbelievable to see that you defended
어떻게
it.
막은지 잘 모르겠는데
네.
I wasn't really thinking that much at that moment. I guess I just did it. I just let my hands do what they could do.
불사신이에요. 거기다가 건설 로봇도
And I knew it was very
공격력이
important my
아주
Reaper had to survive in
좋던데요.
that.
그 경기가 정말
But not only just the
재밌게
Reapers, your
봤던
SCVs,
사강
your control was just very good
경기였던 것
overall.
같아요. 이렇게 오늘 김도호 선수와의 이런 전반적인 4강전 오늘 잘했다 이렇게 느껴지시나요?
일단
Overall, how would you evaluate your
방송에서
performance against
게임이 더
Classic
잘
if you
되는
had to
것
grade
같아서
yourself?
네,
전체적으로 좀 만족스러운 것 같아요.
그렇군요.
Honestly, I feel
자,
like I
이렇게
play
오늘
better at a live
멋진
event than
마이크 컨트롤뿐만 아니라
playing
경기력
online.
많이
Overall, I'm very
보여주셨는데요.
satisfied.
자, 이제 결승전 김도호 선수를 이겼는데 주성욱 선수는 어떻게 생각을 하고 계실지.
After
김도호
defeating
이겼으니까
Classic, you're going to be against
이제
yet another strong
주성욱은
Protoss player,
이겼다
Zest.
이렇게 생각을 하시나요?
일단
Since you
태양이
defeated
형이랑
Classic,
하시는 걸 봤는데
do you have any concern about Zest?
네.
그래서 그냥 근데 제가 준비만 잘하면은 충분히 이길 수
So I
있을
was
것
watching the Zest games against TY, and he looks like a very strong player. But as long as I prepare well, I think I'm going to be okay.
같아요. 그럴 것 같아요.
네. 자, 많은 팬들이 조성주 선수의 그 2연속 우승을 응원하고 계실 겁니다. 마지막으로 팬분들
There's a lot of people watching and supporting you here in the
이렇게
studio and online. Do you have anything to say to them?
결승을 진출했는데 진짜 너무 감사드리고
Everyone, I made it to the GSL finals again.
우승하도록 하겠습니다.
I want to thank everybody who supports me.
알겠습니다. 다시 한번
And I'm going to do my best to win.
감사합니다.
Thank you. And that does it for the interview
조성주
from the Fire
선수의
Bear
2연속
himself.
우승은 가능할까요?
He's so
저는
good.
다음 주
It's
GSL
frightening how
결승전에서
strong he is right
인사드리겠습니다.
now. Really. And I am so looking forward to this finals next week. Oh my god, it's going to be good. Look at these stats. Advancing in the final 774 days after the 2016 GSL Season 1 finals.
Huh.
What does that mean?
I don't know. So this is the first back-to-back finals we've had in 7 years. The last time was in 2011.
Indeed.
So it's not just Dr. Disrespect, man. Tomorrow might also be the two-time back-to-back blockbuster video game champion.
You know what's going on here? So basically, the text under these, the Korean ones, are for Maru, and the text under them are for Classic. That's why I'm getting confused. These like the English text you see here, ignore that, guys.
Just read the Korean text.
Yeah, actually,
learn
it's
Korean and
very
read that.
true. Like I'm like, what? Like 774 days. I'm like, no, it's been like 40 days since he's been at the GSL finals. He will play against Zest 5 p.m. KST on the 23rd.
That stands for Korean StarCraft time.
It's the only thing you need to know that time for sure. I mean, this is going to be an insane finals. Zest took a very close series off of TY, and Maru just bashed Classic. But I think stylistically, these two are going to be a better match for each other than they were for their opponents. And I'm totally serious about this. Zest is going to be able to study this a lot. I think that it's going to be an amazing finals.
Definitely come down if you can.
We give out
get
tickets
here
at
early.
Yes.
Early. You want a good seat.
You want a seat.
You want a seat. You don't want to stand. Here's some more information about the finals.
Yeah, it's in this studio. Tickets are being given out at noon on next Saturday. So, I mean, it's up to you when you show up. People are always like, Tosis, when should I show up? I'm like, I don't know. I always get in. I show up an hour before and I'm in. No problem. But that won't work for you. This will fill up 100%. You can get in and sit down at 3:30 p.m. And as you can see, you're going to need a ticket because there's going to be people that show up and can't get in, just so you know. There will be raffles there as well, and you can buy shirts down here, but those will be in limited supply. So another reason to get down here and watch the finals live.
Do the right thing. We also have a special card to give away. GSL Finals cards.
Sick.
We need to make sure we get those.
Yeah. So that's going to be an amazing finals. This has been the best season of GSL that we've ever had.
Might be the best finals we'll ever see, too.
I hope so. Or it could just be a 4-0. Who knows?
Could be. Could be our worst finals yet. You don't know, man.
It could be a very middling finals.
Pretty good, so hard to say.
I think it's going to be a really good one.
Definitely come down to our studio, though. And if you can't, that's okay. We don't blame you, but you have to watch online. Okay, those are the rules.
Yes.
All right.
And talk about GSL. That's part of the rules, too.
Spread the word.
It's been a good day.
It's been a short day. Let me check my phone here. What
the
time
games
is it?
were really entertaining, though.
This was an hour and a half. With the games, with the interviews,
Well, I guess that
with the
gives
commercials.
you and me more free time, I guess.
More sunshine. More daylight outside. Morrow looks terrifying.
He does, indeed.
Against any Protoss player. Now, Zest has brought a style that has been very technical. He looks like a completely different player than the two-time GSL champion that he was in the past. So I'm wondering what Zest is going to come up with, because on some level you have to be a little bit scared of the fact that Classic had such intelligent attempted takedowns of Morrow to really stop the game before it started.
Yeah.
And it did not work at all. So what is Zest prepping,
Well, now that he
build
knows
order-wise?
who won, he has a few games to look at least, right? But there is definitely a consistent style here for Maru, a very consistent style. So there are things that you can do to counteract this type of play, and I think that Zest will be able to kind of look into that, and I think that's going to make it very dynamic finals, because Maru is someone who can think on his feet and change his play around a lot. So if Zest comes in and shows he can beat Maru's standard play, that's when it's going to become very interesting, that finals. You can see a huge range of play out of both players, I think, kind of like what we saw at a TY versus Zest.
Very true. Very true. Interesting to see these kind of results. We were pretty sure that TY should beat Zest, and we were pretty sure Classic should beat Maru.
Yeah.
But it's been a total reversal. Can't say I'm too surprised to see Maru here in the finals again. That's really exciting, though. GSL Code S is so competitive that a lot of times we don't have a player get to the finals over and it basically almost
Twice
never
in a row,
happens.
yeah. It almost
we'll have
never
someone get to the
happens.
finals eventually, several times in a row, but to have it back to back like that is
Not
crazy.
even Innovation's ever done that. Only MVP himself has done it.
And that was a different era of StarCraft when we didn't understand the game like we do now. I mean, StarCraft 2 now is way more technical. It takes years to truly unpack an RTS.
Yes, indeed. And that's why it's so good right now to watch. And Maru really making a name for himself in the history books.
That's all the time we have. We love you guys. We'll see you at the finals. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
GSL Season 2. Code S. Overgrowth.
There's a place at the end of the
road. 2018 GSL Season 2. Overgrowth.